Check, check, check one. Yes. Had to take a shower here really quick. Oh, I didn't get to say this on the stream, but I wanted to. Hang tight here, guys. I'm running a little late here this morning. I got some meetings I had to do with what is it called? Butyl tape and types of cock. I know that doesn't sound exciting, does it? They sell at the store. They sell like there are cocks that are crap. Then there's professional cock, and the good shit's usually this like poly. I think it's called polyurethane based cock. Okay, take this off. Put that off. All right. So I just took a shower. I was in a meeting about polyurethane cock, and hold on a second here. Get it. So anyways, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We got a bunch of stuff to go over today. I didn't get much sleep last night either. I was up all night long looking at some stuff. We're going to talk about that today. Hold on here. Few minutes there, guys. Okay, so wait a minute here. I'm gonna write all that down too. So I've got I'm working on my house right now. If you don't know, hold on a second here. Still. So sorry for this. I just need a moment here. I just got out of the shower like as quickly as possible. Get on the show. So I'm unexpectedly doing more work in my house than I expected. I expected to fix what I thought was leaks, and then I got rot and turned into this big fucking thing. So I have like a contractor coming and going, and then asking questions, and I need to answer. And this shit is so expensive, I can't afford it. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I can't fucking afford it, or I can't justify it. They're kind of intertwined. Where I just can't bring myself to pay $600, $700, $800 per window for a standard size window. Just can't do it. So of course I know a guy that installs windows for a big window company, and he collects them if they're good, like still good windows. So I bought a bunch of windows that were used, and I had to do a bunch of work to them to prepare them to be installed. It's a disaster, of course. Not a disaster, but it's a pain in the ass. And then, of course, I'm trying to get cock and stuff, and like there's like someone selling some on Facebook, and it's cheaper than like good cock is like $20 a tube, like an 8-ounce tube, is like, maybe it's 10 ounce, I think. That shit's not cheap, and the professional kind that you don't find in like Menards or Home Depot is even more expensive. So this shit just adds up and adds up and adds up, and you got to make the decisions between what's more important than, like, is this more important than that, or I buy these nice windows, but I can't afford the caulk, and it just adds up. Whenever you're doing this shit, there's always like shit you don't see or things you don't account for, overruns and costs, and you always think it's going to cost me X amount of dollars. Then you come out of it and you're like a third or a half more than you anticipated. And not only that, if something ever goes wrong, you can get really in the hole. Whenever you're doing this stuff, it's a dangerous. I've flipped houses, so I know how dangerous this can be. And when you take a hit like that, it's fucking brutal. It's like unseen stuff. You're just like, I'm never gonna get the ROI on this that I wanted, or whatever, or there'll be leaks, or what's more important, the affordable window and making sure that nothing rots, and then I can replace them if I need to in the future, or get something subpar and that's not sealed properly. So you like constant battle of of like right decisions and wrong decisions and all that kind of stuff. So I'm had some meetings this morning with these guys and my wife, of course. And it's whatever it is. So we got to talk. We got some stuff to chat about. Number one, we should be in trend day all day long. We should be. I did draw. Come on over here for a minute. Now, we should be in trend day today. I want you to know that. It's like literally. Now, this is kind of the halfback trade right here. Just so you can see that. So there is a little bit of potential for some rolling in here. I don't know how deep it is going to be. It could be something where we're just fading this and then ramping up, or it could be something a little bit deeper down here. But I want you to look like this is a 1-minute chart. So if you look back over here, like tighten this up a little bit, as long as we're above this right here, well, this is our initiation of the trade right here. And as long as we're heading higher, we're still in quote unquote in trend on that hourly time frame. Within this hour, you can do all kinds of shit. You can come up down here, all kinds of nonsense while you're going higher. So don't look at this as it's, don't look at this as like, hey man, we're out of your trend. We're not. We're going up. So that is the base case. That we're going up. And there's like little W going on in here, and then there's this big stuff up here. You can see this you can see this little node right here and this one right here. There's potential here to come in at 12 o'clock, hit this one right here in a high, 672, and then coming back down here to this half an hour too. So just be aware of this whole kind of garbage thing. You get the new high right here. You come back down. The half-hour trigger turns. Here's your hourly trigger. And here is your half-an-hour trigger to the upside right here. And as that cross happens, you should see some... On the downside, typically, we don't always come back to check the cross. But on upside, it's very common. Way more common on the upside, on the cross, to come check it and just make sure this is the way that we're going for the next turn higher. Let's go back and look at this. Can I mute this really quick just to get this noise out of here? Get rid of all that. Get rid of all this for a minute here. We'll come back to this. And we already took out this one right here. Theoretically, we haven't, but the two that we want to be watching up here, I think we have taken that out at another time with more data we have, but I want you to look at this right here. I want you to look at this right here. This is yellow, right? And this is yellow too. And let's start from square one. So, had a chance here. How do I describe this to you guys? Where do we start? We start like this. All right, let's delete all this. Let's get rid of this for a minute. So, we'll start here. Let me only got some water here. Hold on. Over the past I want to say the past month, we've been given every reason, like full manifestos. I mean literally, like some of the manifestos that I've either watched, read, or heard are so expansive, and a lot of them are actually bullshit. Just the thinking about one in particular would be the blowing up of subprime auto lenders. Prime auto lending is actually on the decline right now. Subprime auto lenders, like the real shitbags out there, those guys blow up all the time, right? And they're not a part of that thing. So there's a lot of like bullshit for why we should crash. There's some valid things why we should crash, or should we enter a bubble or not enter a bubble. That's important to remember. Should we enter a bubble? Should we not enter a bubble? And then, of course, you have what the street wants out of the policy from the White House and geopolitics, all that kind of stuff to kind of wrap up the year, or their demands. You also have, like, are we entering the bubble or not? TMT, and also Fangman Plus T are coming into their worst profits of the past few years. Like, profits have been in decline for non-financial corporate types, especially like TMT. It's like coming down, 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 and it's theoretically supposed to bottom in Q4, which will report in Q1, and Q1 that'll report in Q2 of next year. And now, theoretically, the idea is that's supposed to start going back up again. Okay? Seriously. Some of that is potentially true. If you read Netflix's or watch Netflix's guide, if they hadn't had to absorb those taxes, they would have had a blowout, a literal blowout quarter. They took a hit from absorbing, like, I think 5 years of taxes, and they still had a good quarter. But it's important to remember this right here, this bit, because we're going to come back to it in just a little bit. We're kind of like right here, or like, kind of like right there in this zone right here. But that doesn't preclude the idea that we all know that we're near a top. We all know that the next step is either to enter a bubble or some kind of crash or bear market. And you really don't need to write a fucking manifesto to make the point, is my point. We all know. You know, I know, the whole market knows. So if you're going to get the end of the bull run, or if you're going to not enter the bubble, it's not normally because of the fucking manifesto that you wrote. There's normally something that triggers it. normally like one or two things that trigger it, but there's some signs in the background you can look for. Oftentimes when we get late bull cycle, you see, you'll see that if there's like a stool, I always relate it to a stool, right? And it's got a bunch of legs on it. And they take out leg by leg. And take these legs out here. Before you know it, there's only one leg it's standing on. When you get into this like late cycle, you'll oftentimes see stocks being left behind. A lot of the meme stocks right now are being cut up. Spec growth are being cut up. And in this particular case, a lot of the AI bubble stocks have not moved, have they? Not only that, you're seeing lowered expectations. And if you don't get a beat on a lowered expectation at the bottom of your lowered EPS expectations, even if you beat, it becomes a sell the news or take the money and run on one of these legs, these AI bubble legs. Even if we're going to enter a bubble, there's like an exit part of this. There's also this idea of rotating into broader market, at least during earnings, of like they've performed, but there's no money to get a big wide print on these tickers. So rather than leaving, let's say, I know in COVID, we, companies that were issuing corporate debt bonds, like Apple was one of the last companies left standing, I think, whereas other companies were cut towards the end of that bull run. In this case, the broader market is being supported into this earnings season. And those companies have to report. 46% of them report from the 27th to the 31st, which is important. And if you remember in prior bear markets or ends of bull markets, the indexes can stay up the longest. So you can lose a lot of individual stocks or ones that you think drive the market, where other stocks are actually driving the market underneath the indexes, and the indexes are the last to go. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about how the street is hedging this right now. And what they're doing is they're hedging TMT. They're basically buying puts on, there's more complicated than that, but they're selling short and buying puts against TMT Mag 7, and they're long as fuck the rest of S&P 500. So they're able to, take profits and almost a sure thing to make money off of TMT Mag 7 through this earnings cycle, but then be long and have exposure into the markets via SPXQs. So SPXQs goes up during this time period. And you're pinning down all these other stocks that could carry us into a bubble. So you're kind of left into the winter and springtime where it's not like those TMTs and Mag 7s won't come up into the end of the year either. They will, but they won't carry us into a bubble right now. And it leaves the option for the market to sell off, crash, enter a bear market, whatever it may be, and not drag us up and away before they want that to happen if they make that decision. Now, saying all of that nonsense or whatever, and saying we've got every reason to sell and all that, this range expansion here is indicative. Whenever you see range expansion, it means that there's uncertainty of where we're going. That's what this is. Uncertainty about the path ahead. And also, everybody knows, we could probably be at a top or near, right? We could sell 682. We could sell 700. We could sell 720. But we're close. That's what most people think, right? So you start seeing a little bit of deleveraging too, right? You know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to come out. And if we get a correction in the fall or we get a correction in the spring, I will buy that dip and I don't care where price is. Okay? So there's some uncertainty in here. You also have sellers, and they want to drop some bombs. These are the Marcos, right? I think Marco said the crash starts in October. I was like, no, man, it's September 17th, man. It was before then. It's over here. This is where it started, right here. Over there. That's the first one right there. Then it was there. Then it was here. So you've got this blend of de-risking. You have a blend of the street having a ton of wheels turning. I mean, a lot. They have a lot of wheels turning right now. And you also have sellers. And they're just dropping bombs up here, right? They just don't give a fuck. It's like, at some point they're going to de-risk enough and we're going to hit the number that everybody's going to sell. And one of these I'm going to be right. And they have a window too. They have a window into, like, sell side has a window into basically, you could give them until the 15th maybe. I wouldn't even give it OpEx. Like I would just say the 15th, like halfway through November. And the window closes on the 31st. I mean, if you're sell side, you kind of have to be breaking trend. And this is trend right now. So they got to get underneath this by the 15th of November. And we're still in trend here. So if they can't get down here, it's just suck up window dressing into the end of the year, take the hand off of TMT, Mag 7, and indexes, and we're up and off. And actually, SPOOs could stay up here in the mean trade. SPOOs could stay up here while your TMT is down here. So these would be your stanks. And this would be your indexes. That's risk on in the end of the year. And we deal with it in the, from December 31st until late spring or something like that. Selling may go away, which isn't really real anymore. April, March. So you got to think about all this stuff. There's a lot going on, is my point. And I want to show you something else that's important here. And this is what got me thinking about this stuff, which was, this is very classic. This is a very classic. I showed you this last week, but you can see the range expansion right here. Hey, look at that. It works right there, too. I just brought it back up. You can kind of see it, right? There's range expansion right there and right there. Uncertainty. Now, that doesn't mean we don't get new highs, new highs, new highs from these lows over here. But we got to watch this stuff because we're still in this window. Let's see if I can do this here. We're still in this kind of a window right here. This window goes away once we're in mid-November, but I want to show you a couple things here. These windows are very, like, they always look the same. Not always, but they frequently. Bring this over here. You see that price action right there? Yeah, these things usually look fairly similar. When we're trying to top the market. See it there? And I'm going to show it to you over here. Now, these fucking guys run the same fucking playbook. Even if there's some different color or different circumstances, they don't always look so different. We're going to come back to this price action here in a minute. Hang tight here. You can kind of see that same thing right there. You see it? See it now? There's the 31st. There's the 1st. This is about 82. There's 82.50. So, you got this big move higher here. And we can trigger a move to 695, an extension. But, 680, 682, there can also be Marco up here. And this actually led to a major decline in the stock market. Now, this stuff kind of goes away if let's say we're up here and we're down here, we stay in trend and don't dump underneath the daily trigger. We can come right in here and start going up again and run this shit up into the end of the year. Like, I kid you not. But I want to show you this where I got this from because in this case right here, there was a critical a moment to the market that you need to pay attention to. And that is when we begin rejecting the daily trigger. So it's like just last week, we went down underneath the daily trigger and we came straight back above it. So we didn't come in and auto reject the daily trigger. I think that's very key here. There's one other thing that's not quite concerning, but there's more like an action brings another action part of this that's important. And this is how we become predictive. What I want to show you is this daily trigger and the weekly. Can I get a yellow here? There we go, a yellow. Okay. What I want to show you is if the market is going to crash, there's some very common behavior. It's not always, but it's common. And that would be the market begins to park. So you've got daily velocity that's vertical, and then it begins to flatten. As that flattens, it does not stop. Weekly velocity, it keeps moving higher and 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 higher. And if you look at this daily velocity, it is beginning to move. So you can hold this as long, or you can hold this for a period of time. But this weekly velocity forces daily velocity to push higher, regardless of price. So you've got the flattening here, but now you see the vertical coming in again. That vertical is telling you a couple things. It's telling you that as this weekly trigger comes higher, it's going to force price to make a decision on what it's going to do. So you're either going to get pushed up, and yeah, we're trading 700, or you're going to get pushed up. Shit, hold on. Or you're going to get pushed up, meet Marco up here, and he's going to take another stab at it. So if Marco takes another stab at it, and if, this was trend in here, but now we've got the weekly here, all he has to do is just get underneath that weekly. And it opens like a door for a bull trap to sell this market into November, December. In a major way, especially if it was 682. If the way is not higher and the way is lower, then it could be fucking deep, like 560. I know a lot of you think it's 636. We're going to recover. That's potentially an outcome, but I don't see it. I see 582 to 700 as an extension. I see 582 as top of the market. I see 720 as an extension. I see 700 as an extension. I see anything over 680 as an extension. So if this is top of the market and we don't get the extension, I have a hard time believing we're going to hold this and go up there and hit the extension. Maybe, but I doubt it. It's not common. Normally that would signify top of the market. We would trade down into, in my view, about 560. Pretty fucking low. I mean, we'll look at 636, 616, but I would not be shocked to see a fucking bloodletting. So there's something else here too. If we begin to lose this, as this is going vertical, you've got this here, and let's say we were to stall. We don't actually go see Marco. You start to see price action pushing us under. That can be extremely dangerous here too. And there's a reason for that, and that is the daily velocity. It's not bearish, but it's neutral. And I want you to see this daily velocity right here. This weekly is basically topping out. It's got more room to run. We can trade 700. Don't get me wrong. But this is topping out. This is the one that scares the shit out of me. As if we were to break under and start that and trigger that crash on daily velocity. I don't see this as a likely outcome. But my point is that let's say we have this. Let's say we have this. This is the November. My point here would be that, let's say we even just went up there early. Whether that's the first, you have to be have the ability to switch to bear if needed. So if you're like bullish, and let's say Marco comes in, starts smashing us down and through this, start rejecting, you need to be able to switch from bull to bear, no matter what your thesis is. So the thesis is bullish, but you have to understand that underneath the surface of the market, there's so many moving parts that if we do a pullback, we start rejecting under the daily trigger, and I say to you, hey, you know what? Cut your fucking losses, and we're gonna, party time to the downside so you can not blow your shit up. You have to be able to make that switch like Johnny on the spot. So I just want you to be aware of it. It's not something where I'm bearish here, or I think we all know like you can validate why we should be bearish, but we don't have the trigger yet. And there's a couple other things here too that are bothering the fuck out of me. I keep thinking that the market is lying to us, obfuscating. And I've been running into a little bit of that as well. Last week, Financial Juice put out something saying, here is exactly what European leaders are doing with Zelensky. And there was some kind of we're moving towards this thing. And then about an hour later, it was smashed. That information was stepped on. And the information since then has been a lot of like coulda, shoulda, maybe, possibly, implying, but not facts. So I do think there's something going on. Some kind of truce or some kind of at least wrapping up this year in some form. And they don't want you to know it right now. And also the window for China is kind of leaving too. And there are some other things. We've got a shutdown going on. Like I saw a bunch of fear on debt yesterday. Like, debt doesn't fucking crash a stock market. I'm just going to tell you right now, it does not crash a stock market. And as a matter of fact, if it is even negative to the stock market, it would mean that there'd be a higher yield from bonds demanded. But even then, the full faith of the United States of America can pay those bonds. And people are like, what about China not degrossing their bonds? Europe is buying our bonds now. And the U.S. is. Other countries are picking up those fucking bonds. And we're in a cycle of cutting, not in a cycle of hiking. And it almost looks like, just for now at least, that the U.S. is saying, even if people are demanding higher yield for bonds, we'll just fucking buy them ourselves. We'll print fucking money and do it until this resolves. So I like some of the noise that I'm seeing right now doesn't make any sense to me. It's not based in fact. There's a lot of like possibly, could, should, maybe, implying. And I'll tell you something. How often do you see news that disappears? Or, you don't hear about it. All of a sudden, it's important. And the news right now should either be not there or should be based in some form of fact. This is what's happening. And it's not that right now. It's in the news, so it's not in the news. And everything said is maybe, possibly, could be. That's not a good sign for, it's more of like trying to hide that there is resolution. It's not negative, it's actually positive. But they just don't want you to know it yet. That makes any sense to you out there. I know a lot of us today in real life, we consume news. It's all for reaction. When a piece of news comes across your face, you don't even fucking read the article, let alone research the article. Or it's 140 characters and you get a reaction and then you move on. But if you look at news and information pragmatically and objectively, and you dig into the news, you find out oftentimes that it's not fucking what they're saying. And right now that's going on Max. And of course it's at the end of a year and of a quarter, and of course it's on Vixpiration, and it's in this window of volatility and uncertainty. So it's par for the course. So anyways, my point here is not that I'm bearish at all. But my point here is that you'll probably need to be quick. There's some takeaways here, which is you need to be quick. I would be open to those 4 outcomes that I've discussed with you in the past. If 82 is the top of the market and we're going to call it and we're out of here, you need to be able to switch to that. If I say to you, we just rejected the daily trigger, we hit 82.50 or some shit, and we're going to start fucking selling, you need to fucking switch. You need to move. That is a gift that a retail trader has that the street does not. If we hold trend and we're going to go up into the end of the year, I need you to be able to go long for that trade into the end of the year. And you need to be able to adjust to that too. So just a note on this that you can see it clear as day. Then I'll issue one warning here. If you wanted safety, it would either be in pure index, trade the indexes, or if you're trying along TMT Mag 7, I would be looking to buy that bottom if we're still in trend with indexes, possibly early November, mid-November, into the end of the year. And I'd be very fucking wary of some of these meme stocks and some of the spec growth, not all of it. The ones that are performing, they'll probably do well in their ERs, or if you're the broader markets should do well in their ERs and stuff like that if you're focusing on those stocks. But I would issue that warning to you. And, as a retail trader, we're always looking for an edge. Your edge is probably, rather than trying to pick all of the winners and the losers this particular season, and because of where we are in this bull market, collapsing down into an index is now, I've talked about that in the past, but I would tell you that right now is the time to do it. Collapse into an index. And if you're going to own shit, you collapse into an index. The index will always come back if you get caught in it. It should outperform. And it should be the last leg to be cut if we do cut a leg. So I know I've talked about that. Like, hey, whenever we get to the end of this fucking cycle or whatever, I'm going to tell you right now, this is what you do. Mark my fucking words here. The safest trade into end of year is likely in an index. And it will give you a slight edge over not being in an index. And I don't give a fuck about the one guy out there that's like, well, I picked the right one. Fuck that guy. For the most of you out there as a retail trader, your best opportunity is to be long in an index if you want to be long. And if you wanted an all clear sign for going back into some stanks that you love, it's probably after the first couple weeks of November as the air clears. And if the market starts melting up, you look like a fucking rock star. Now, the second thing about and if we potentially enter a bubble, you got all day long to fucking make that trade. We're not entering a bubble yet. Don't fucking believe anybody telling you that we're in a goddamn bubble. They're fucking lying. I'm telling you, they're fucking lying. If you want to enter the bubble trade, you got all fucking day long to do it. That shit could last 1, 2, 3, 4 fucking years. And we got a great opportunity to jump in that bubble either now or within the first quarter, Q2 of 2026. You understand what I'm saying here? You guys tracking? All right. So we're going to talk about where we are in the market, where we're going, and expectations. I want you to pay very close attention to this daily trigger. See down here how we did not sell. You see how we came under the daily trigger? We did not auto reject it. See how he climbed right back up and over? And you know how the daily trigger is now moving higher? You are looking for that fucking rocket ship, just like over here. You are looking for that rocket ship. You are looking for it. You are, and if the way is not down, I'm going to say this to you again. If the way is not down, you got expiration. And if you can't create that second leg and that roll to the downside, then the fucking way is up. And the fucking way is up to where Marco is. That's where the trade is. Not fucking Polo. Way is to Marco. So if Marco is our fucking date and destiny, if he's up there and he casts down a fucking stone, the last time he did that was this move right here. So if we come up here, we start smashing into, his face up here, 682.5, he's going to try that same fucking move. You understand? He's going to try it. I'm guarantee it. That doesn't mean you sell the fucking stank market down here if we would need to reject. But there's a potential to sell the stank market right there, isn't there? So you got to be quick. I need you into at least middle of November to be able, I would say to you, if there's like a top line in this, I will walk you through this. I will walk you through this shit. I don't give a fuck if we crash. I don't give a fuck if we go into, depression. I will be here to walk you through it. And if I fucking see anything, I'm watching this shit like a fucking hawk. If I see a goddamn thing that smells like rotten in Denmark, I think that's what they used to say back in the day. Something stinks in Denmark or something like that. It's an old saying. I think my grandparents used to tell me that. But if you see anything that's stinky, I will be the first fucking guy to tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you in public. I'll tell you here in the show. I don't care. But I need you to follow along with me is the point. Don't fight that shit. Just stay with me. And I'm asking you that as like an agreement. No cap, we're going up, bro. Like shit like that. Like, Marco comes up here, slams us down, and we start rejecting that daily trigger with a new low, and you're like, no cap, it's going to fucking come back up. I do not want you to do that. I want you to be like, okay, cap, fuck you, I'm with you, man. And we do that trade to the downside, and then we'll check to see if it does return to the upside. If it doesn't, we start going down. You're doing the same thing with me. Okay, if we go risk off, it's going to be fast. But I wouldn't be risk off here. I don't think being risk off here is the trade in any way, shape, or form. I think you'll be left behind and you'll be kicking yourself. You know who gets left behind? These assholes right here. These are the fucking assholes that complain constantly. Well, I didn't get a pullback. Oh, we're not gonna break above. Oh, now it's gonna roll, bro, and then we're gonna catch them over here. Constant fucking noise. So if we go risk off, I will tell you, we're going risk off. And you pull the fucking ripcord. You're going to be given plenty of time. I want you to remember that even in this pullback right here, you did not need to fucking call that top. You just needed to know that we're risk off. There's fucking legs all the way down here. You know what I mean by that? Like you got time. You always have time. And duration matters. It really fucking does. If you've never been in a bull or a bear market or a crash, we got a bunch coming if we go into a bubble. We got a whole bunch. If we go in a bubble, we're going to get probably 2 crashes a year, 2 major corrections a year. I need you to do the same thing there. We're going to sell. Now we're risk on again. We're risk off. We're risk on again. And that duration really fucking matters. Like if you're up here and you're like, hey, I'm long, and you get pulled down, you're going to lose part of that trade. But if you're long from here to here, there's money. The duration matters. Like getting long the fucking stock market and staying long and adding matters. You don't give a fuck about this stuff over here, right? I don't care. And this isn't even risk off. Remember, you have to have the daily trigger crossing. Or through here, excuse me. And you can see the last time we did this, right here. This is the step-off point. Price goes underneath. Oh, shit, that's bad, right? And you get the crosshair. That confirms risk off. Bam, 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 down here, make all that money. Okay, we're back risk on again. So you're stepping back on again long. You didn't feel any of that noise. You're not succumbing to fear. You're not succumbing to the bear manifesto. You're not succumbing to uncertainty or even range expansion. Some of these range expansions resolve to the upside, don't they? There's one right here. Range expansion resolves to the upside. Daily trigger did not follow. We're up. We're out of here. Same thing goes here. Up here, 82, smashed underneath. You want to go risk off there? You can. But right now, where we are, I don't think that's unreasonable. But if we're down here with price and the daily trigger is not following, and I tell you, hey, man, you need to get long again, and you're like, Cap, we're going to crash, and the daily trigger's up here, I'm going to say, fuck you, no. Now, I do agree that the daily trigger easily can cross because it's on neutral right now. There's a propensity to want to cross right now. It's on neutral. But if it doesn't get dragged down, and I say to you, get long again in the end of the year, you better be able to do that too. You got to move. You got to be quick. And you got to take this shit serious. I mean, you really fucking do. You got to take this shit serious. This is how you make money, right? How you want to retire. How you want to have a boat or a plane. How you want to have a big old house. How you want to have a pile of cocaine. How you want to fund your church. How you want to keep your wife happy, your kids happy, your boyfriend happy, your girlfriend happy, your mistress happy. What's a man mistress? Your manservant happy. Whatever it is that makes you happy. Hold on a second here. I'm like, dude, I swear that I swear that some of the shit that I say is for my own amusement. Just check this right here. Like for my own shits and giggles. Like Cato, your manservant. Sorry. Do not be shaken out, is my point. And do not be fearful. Do not be fearful. Retail is selling like mad dogs right now. They're in full fear right now. Do not be fucking fearful. I will walk you through this. I promise. At the high right here, we got this one right in here. Thursday, 1600, right there. We'll even give you Friday. I'll even be nice. I'll give you till Friday at we'll just go to close here today. Watch me do this with you. And that's what I want you to see right there. That's the 31st. The importance here, right? You can smash up here into Marco. They come right down here, and we're going to find out if this is the top or not. Well, this ain't the top. We come into the middle of that year, we'll go slam into 7,000 up there. actually wouldn't be like that. I think it would be 27th, like this whole area right here. We like enter this right on Monday. So it should be something like this. All-time highs, reports, 82, right about there. This is what it should look like. Something like this. My only fear is this asshole Marco up here. How deep does he get us? The other more bullish outcome would be we come down here, right? You hit the 82 up here. Marco does this thing. We get into the middle of the month, and then it's Rampo-Rama straight to 695. And we can even do this before. There is potential for us to hit 700 up here beginning of November, and then Marco comes in again. Comes in here, and he tries to sell us the fuck down and crash Christmas. It's outside the range possibility. Note here that you've got a wick. See that wick right there? That's a lot of demand, isn't it? We're going to look at this 4-hour really quick. We have a second 4-hour coming into the market. This is your first candle of the day. We can come all the way down here and still be going up today. So 6690. We could go all the way down there today. I don't think that we do, but we can. If you wanted to buy the dip, down here. This is 10 a.m. right here, right? Get the move higher down here, right? We're just looking for what? 12 o'clock flows, right? There's your 1 hour there. I don't think we go this deep, but we're going to leave it here, okay? I don't think we go that deep, but I want to leave this here. Something like that. I don't think we're going to get this deep into it. I think we're going to go like here and start up this way, but we'll leave it that deep for you. There's a little gap down here too. I think the top line from this is that we'll go over the top line one more time here. We know that we're in a broadening market. We know that there's uncertainty. We know that retail's selling out. That's not good. That means new all-time highs. That means that when they make an all-time fucking high, that you're going to become a bag holder. They want you to be a bag holder. And you're exiting early right now. Another top-line thing here would be we're bullish. That's what we are. Put it in your head. Pound it in yourself. We're bullish here. We're trading 670. And I don't even know if you should be hedging here. I'm like, I was debating this late last night. I'm like, you just get long and we turn into sellers at some point, either now or springtime. You can be hedged here, but I think that's the easy trade. But I think for a lot of you, I don't even know at this point if it matters. You're just long as fuck. And the moment we start looking risk offish, we get that nod that we're risk offish, you turn into a seller. Cut everything and you start selling. And then if we go risk on again, you can get back in the market again. Because of where we are in the market. Other top line stuff here. Fucking, I keep saying it and saying it and saying it. Do not goddamn trust any of these fucking news organizations. Yesterday I read a story from CNBC that was bullshit. And then it was posted all over the goddamn it was old bullshit and reposted and got traction. I read another CNBC article yesterday for pros, and it fucking told people was telling people to buy shit that the market or the street is actually short on. They were telling their fucking pro members to buy shit that the street is short on. They're hedging the market on the shit they're telling people to get long in. And then like financial juice is great, but they were like breaking news that they were not supposed to break. And then they rescinded it. I've been in that situation too in the past. Where like a reporter fucking breaks some news they're not supposed to break. And they tone it down. No, that's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden it breaks again in like 2 or 3 weeks. The market is being intentionally manipulative right now. Intentional. Why? Either the news wouldn't be here or it would be real and bad. So they're trying to keep good news away from you right now.
10 seconds.
They do not want this market fucking ripping right now. They want it to rip probably at the end of the year. Get their window dressing in. The quarter is good. That's my thought here. Yeah, that's it. Now, there is some risk. I shouldn't say there isn't any risk, but some of it's fake. Like the government shut down, SNAP benefits are going to end. That's bullshit. Is SNAP? No, that's not unemployment. SNAP is part of like food vouchers or food stamps or whatever that stuff is. That's going to end. That's not true either. Even if the government stays shut down, the executive branch can step in and pay those things. So we're all waiting for that November 1st. Maybe it is doomish. Maybe Trump says, fuck it. We're at 700. You're not getting your SNAP benefits. But he can also step in and say, I'm going to pay that shit. Or we're going to pay welfare. I think that's 40 million people, right?
2.
And you're being pushed fear. We also know that the Senate is trying to get back into session, right? So, just be careful in some of the shit that you're consuming. It's fucking poison. It really is fucking poison. And it's more than likely some kind of psyop. And it's constant today. Whether that's the White House or it's the market participants, the banks, they do this. They run these things. You're wealthy and you have large positions, you can pay, and you have relationships with people that you can push narratives. That is a real fucking thing. So I just caution you and, I don't know, fear, doubts, insecurities, any of that kind of stuff at this moment. It's almost like it's pure price action trading at this point, using triggers and velocity. I don't right now. I honest to God, I don't trust anything or anybody. I'm like falling back on basically triggers and velocity. Or if you're an ICT guy or something, you can do it more refined. But I can't trust anything right now. I'm not trusting Gamma. I'm not trusting Elliott Wave. I'm not trusting news or events. Nobody. Triggers and velocity. That's it. The only thing that I have any fucking faith in. It's the only thing that I've ever used as a trader that has been truthful to me. And sometimes it's clear as day and matches other people's shit. And sometimes it diverges. And it's diverging right now. In every prior example, it's the only thing that's proven to tell me the truth. Not sometimes, not 9 out of 10 times, not 7 out of 10 times, like 10 out of 10 times. The only thing that's told me the truth. So I'm on a fucking rant today, aren't I?
According to TASS, Russia may
trading
raise
669
oil
right
transit
now.
from Kazakhstan to Germany.
Just checking my position here really quick. Just checking all my money right now. I'm hoping I can find some of you fearful retailers that want to buy some calls from me higher. I want to find some suckers that get back in the market on the highs. V Princess, I'll hold your hand. I know it's scary as fuck too, and I feel like I have a lot of responsibility here. I don't take this kind of shit for where we are in range expansion lightly. Like when we're on fucking cruise control, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna go up. But when we go into these like range expansion moments, I get really fucking antsy. I get really
Kansas
like
City Fed Manufacturing 15, 15
on those outcomes because both of those outcomes are valid. They really are. Like the upside move is valid and the roll is valid. So you gotta watch like a hawk the market right now. Yeah, 100%, Brennan. I mean, 100%, bro. Like honestly, like I don't need your fucking manifesto. Not you, Brandon, but like I got it. I got your manifesto. Not you, but like I got the Bear manifesto. I got it. It's been fucking hammered into my fucking head at this point. I get it. We're supposed to crash. I got it. Cool. I don't think we crashed for that reason though. I don't think you're gonna see a crash or whenever the fuck we do crash. I don't think they're gonna go, oh, let's break out the fucking manifesto here. It's gonna be a trigger. It's gonna be not these triggers, but it's gonna be, hey, this one thing is why we're crashing. You know, and it's going to get picked up by the wire. It's going to get picked up by you and I and everybody else. And going to say, oh, we're crashing because of this. And it's not going to be their fucking manifesto. You know, so you really like at this point, you really need to pay very close fucking attention to what you know is has an edge no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah, you do. You buy when well, that's not, some of that stuff does hold true, but you know, we all know the reasons why. I think everybody out there knows. We all know about the potential AI implosion. We all know. Everybody knows. We all know that nobody wants to enter the bubble. We know that some of you do want to enter the bubble. We all know. Like it's like it's just regurgitating crap at this point. So. You can drive right through that fucking car wreck like if you're a NASCAR, you ever see NASCAR? You ever see like a movie with a NASCAR, like Tom Cruise coming through, big pile up of smoke and fire and cars spinning around, and you fucking drive right through that shit? You can do that. In this time of uncertainty, you can easily do that. Hang tighter. I've got some beeping going. Can you hear that beeping? hear beeping. Am I missing something here? You didn't hear beeping? Thank you. It must be in my house. I wanted to talk to you guys about GME. You're up 71%. Good job. Remember the last time I talked about GME? I noticed yesterday we were down in the buy zone. I looked yesterday. I saw GME bulls committing seppuku the past couple weeks. I was like, I gotta check and see. Because the last time I talked about GME, they thought we were going to MOAS. And I was like, dude, it's down lower. And we're right where I said we would be. So if you're buying GME down there, you're fucking pretty goddamn close to where to buy it. Like when you're kind of like meme stocks, I think Uncle JBJ and I were talking about that. You're always looking for the goddamn depths of hell. Every time. There'll always be a moment for the depths of hell. And if you don't find that in your favorite meme, move on to the other one that does it. You don't need to be in just one meme. You can just bounce back and forth. You got a basket of them, and you say, what's the worst that this one can go to? If that one goes down to the depths of fucking hell, you're like, hey, maybe we can start accumulating this. And you're then on top, and you're always happy. You're not like losing your family and your kids and your friends and your home and your retirement. Yeah, and actually, I was just thinking about this. I'm like, I've lost some of those trades. I've lost some of those. Like, we're gonna buy it at $1. Some of those I've made a lot of money on though too. Beyond most recently, I'm still in another one right now. I'm in, but this one I wanted to stay in for a long period of time. I'm in SGD or something. I got a stack of high society in there, or more than a stack of high society. I got a lot. I think I got like 4,000 or 5,000 shares. SGD, Safe and Green Development, and they're in the shitter right now. They just printed $1 today. And they were in an even lower shitter. They were down in the 60s and 80s, I think. Yeah, 65 cents I added there, or just I added 76 cents and I added 80 something cents. To that position. I missed the 65 cents. I wanted to fucking add at 65. Dumbass. I should say I'm a dumbass. Maddie, how did you get slaughtered yesterday? Am I back on again? Now Twitch is down. Is Twitch back up again? I think Twitch is back again. Okay. Streams content. It says current bit rate is too slow. Stream bit rate of 6,800. Just check something here. I thought I was using 6,800. Just check this here. Okay, 6,800. I'm going to close the stream out and turn it right back on in just a moment. It's saying that I got to increase my bit rate. That could be an internet thing, though, and it might not be me. But give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to turn the stream back on and off. Look for this dip buy down below here at 12 p.m. I'll be right back. Just like 2 minutes. I'll be fast as fuck.